Hey folks, it's Captain Wolf 54 here. It's just a small update video.
Suicide.
Talk over some things with the channel, give a few updates, and just general lay of the land. So, Forsaken Skies episode 4, we're still on pace, but once again experiencing a few delays. Just having some real life things come up, and some difficulty getting lines back. Just overall, just a couple delays here and there. But rest assured, Forsaken Skies is still being worked on. Just might be a little bit later than you might expect.
Your constant string of delays and excuses makes me sick.
No, please, I beg you. I'm doing my best.
You will not escape your doom this time, American. Your time has come.
No! No! Hey folks, if you're watching this video, you have reached the pinnacle of Machinima glory and art. Welcome. Just kidding. Figured this was long overdue. Recap thus far of the Forsaken Skies series in preparation of the release of episode 4. And how my previous series, Lone Survivor, factors into it if you haven't caught on to that already. So strap in, grab a drink, and lock in. Just kidding. Hope you enjoy the story so far, and to better enjoy the next one. Before we recap the Forsaken Skies series up to this point, we must first start with the parallel story, the original story, the OG, Lone Survivor. So, let's start off with Lone Survivor 1. Year set in 2558. John Edwards is captain in the UNSC Marines. Apocalypse has just started. Military is fully engaging flood-like infected humans. While not as heavily mutated like the Flood in what we're used to, the infected move in groups and have hunger for sentient flesh. After reporting to his unit and finding his base destroyed and his friends dead, and no orders to follow, John takes the first Pelican evacuation ship he finds to take away. He decides to set off alone, having everyone close to him gone. Skip forward a couple years, we're in 2561. John is on foot moving to the former state of Ohio in part of the United Republic of North America. Backstory, and this is lore accurate, a new nation formed between the Union of Canada, the United States, and Mexico. This is lore accurate, and they have a loose formation amongst them in the greater United Earth government. So he arrives in Indianapolis on his way to Chicago, mega city spanning over several states, also known as the Greater Chicago Industrial Zone. His plan is to find a slipspace capable ship after being on the run alone and off and on with groups for the past 3 years. He comes across a Firebase Omega in Indianapolis. It's a former ONI-linked military base. However, hearing no response from the base, he goes inside, searches supplies and food, just to see what's going on. In his quest to restock on food and ammo, he comes across a set of Spartan armor in storage. After a little bit of difficulty, he dons the armor for himself, not knowing this suit used to be his, which explains why he's able to fit in it, because it's still mapped to his genetic profile. After a brief scuffle, he continues on to Chicago, still in his quest to find a ship off-world in hopes of finding other survivors and a way off of Earth. Now, having acquired some transportation, John travels to Industrial Zone 08. Fun fact, Industrial Zone 08 in the Greater Chicago Industrial Zone is the setting of the Halo 2 map Foundation. While patrolling the city, John enters a warehouse, searching for more equipment. All of a sudden, he's ambushed by a group of autonomous robots, security drones, led by T-276, aka Talos, and R-179, Rally. They were abandoned there after their human managers fled, and no one came to replace them, so they continued to look after the area, clearing it of infection, and collecting supplies to defend themselves, or any humans they find. After introductions, and deeming him a trustworthy man, Talos gives John a brief tour of the warehouse. During their conversations, Talos reveals that the drones have been fixing up a UNSC frigate, a Sharon-class frigate, in the nearby spaceport in hopes of using it to help more survivors or to get off-world. They also reveal they have a radio. John requests the use of it to broadcast a message to find other survivors in the area, despite the risk it might bring to him and the drones. A response is heard from Lieutenant Lucas Hemsworth and his team of ODSTs, who have crashed nearby. With their situation dire, Talos agrees to accompany John to save the ODSTs. Raleigh stays behind to protect the warehouse. John and Talos save Lucas and his team of David and James with moments to spare. But upon arrival, the drones turn their weapons on John. Riley claims he's lying about his identity, and is not really John Edwards. He found this after searching through records confiscated by an ONI facility that the drones raided. After a tense exchange, Lucas steps up. He knows John from another time, but his name wasn't John. It was Riker Cole, a Spartan 3. During the Fall of Reach, in 2552, Riker and Lucas are helping to enable civilian transports to escape the city of Manassas in the early days of the battle. After enabling the transports to flee, Riker is taken into custody by ONI agents after refusing orders to abandon the civilians and return to the ONI facility. After being captured, Commander Adam Kingston orders that Riker be forcibly removed from his armor, and that the surgeons attempt to remove his augmentations. They fail, causing severe memory loss and injury to Riker, but he maintains his Spartan enhancements. After procedure, Riker gets a new identity as Captain John Edwards and is inserted with a Marine unit on Earth to allow ONI to make use of their investment back in modern-day 2561. After the story is retold, Raleigh calms down and ceases hostilities. All of a sudden, 2 Covenant ships enter Earth's atmosphere. They appear to have a trajectory for the Chicago area, right where our heroes are. The lead commander of the forces, Zuka Todomi, sends a transmission to the warehouse, telling the survivors he knows where they are. He knows about their frigate and makes a threat of absolute destruction. Taking his threat seriously, the ODSTs, the drones, and Riker prepare a defense. Elites, equipped with biohazard suits, begin their assault, heavily armed with tanks. A small detachment of Marines, led by Colonel Ryan Lansing, make a valiant effort to destroy all their tanks and make an escape route for Riker and the rest of the team to escape, at the cost of his team. Lansing helps the team navigate through the sewers out to a landing pad where several Falcons are waiting that his team originally took to this position. He also tells them about their final destination, UNSC Independence, a sea-based aircraft carrier that's been the main collection point for soldiers and civilians. As they're about to take off, they're once again attacked by Covenant air forces. During the ensuing battle, Riker makes a valiant effort to hold back the Covenant, but he's lost, crashing into the sea. Lansing and the rest of the crew make it to the UNSC Independence, where they fend off the remaining Covenant air forces and cloak the ship to go back out to the main section of the lake. After a quick debrief, the crew demands that they go after Riker to find him wherever he is. Kingston hesitates, tells them to look tomorrow, knowing that they need to make some distance between themselves and the Covenant. After the crew leaves, Kingston and Lansing have a small chat, discussing some sort of project that involves the ODSTs, but not the drones. Lansing confirms that they'll get to it, all in due time. And so ends Lone Survivor Episode 3. And now for special guest commentator, SeanGingerNinja. Don't mess it up, Sean.
Starting on the month of June 2558, we are introduced into an offshoot universe at the end of the Human Covenant War. The Flood was eliminated, the sacred Halo rings were stopped from destroying the galaxy, and the Great Schism is over. In this addition to our story, Troy and Montana are Spartan 3 headhunters, also known as Spartan Team Victor. These individuals were orphans during the Covenant's genocidal campaign and tearing their homeworlds apart. After going through intense training methods alongside other notable squads like Noble Team, they became ruthless agents behind enemy lines. With the war coming to a settle and no Covenant combatants to fight, They were reinstated to put a stop to a suspected insurrectionist hold in the wilderness of South Dakota. The pair locate their base and learn of an infection that killed the suspected rebels and turned them into mindless human-eating things. Zombies. They then leave to go back to the what fucking word is that? Sorry, it's a fucking American word. No offense, I'm not trying to be like offensive, but I think it's a dumbass word. Come on, phone. I haven't got all night. I've left it too late. I'm tired. They then leave to go back to the Sioux Falls to find out where they had lost communications with command. The infected are revealed to not be the same sort of the disease as the Flood, but still have a mindless quest for consumption and disease spreading. After a brief scuffle in the city and retreating via Warhog, they make a plan to return their base of operations in the Edmonton, Canada. We then come to the events of Forsaken Skies Episode 2. Troy and Montana, with their current information about the infection, return back to base. Wait, is that right? Unfortunately, to their sight, the base is in disarray and devoid of all life. After a lengthy investigation on the command computers that are still operational, they learn about an aircraft carrier in Lake Michigan being used as a refugee collection point for civilians and soldiers alike to flee.
Those same aircraft carriers seen in Lone Survivor Episode 3 that'll take in the main cast from that episode. Kind of important detail, Sean. Why'd you leave it out?
On the way to the aircraft carrier, they come across a Colonel Ryan Lansing and his team trying to escape to the carrier in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. After getting them to the shore for pickup, Lansing aids the pair in their quest to find out more information about the infection by directing them to the CDC station Row in Chicago, a research facility that was close to find a cure before the city was overrun. En route to Chicago, the UNSC enacts Prometheus Protocol to scorch the surrounding areas with a significant bombing campaign to reduce the infected hosts in the Great Lakes area. The blast knocks Troy and Montana's Falcon out of the sky, forcing them to locate new ground transport in order to escape the area. Troy left with barely a scratch, however, dealing with the struggle of Montana, who was critically wounded. Cornered by the infected, they thought it was all over for them. However, fortunately at the last second, a Falcon carrying a team of security drones, Talos, Riley, and Lyle clear the area and evac the Spartans to the CDC station. Troy then awakens at the facility alongside with Montana, who is barely conscious due to his critical injuries. Unaware how they arrived, they noticed the facility was managed by an AI manager, Atlas. Montana is put into cryostasis to help speed up his long road to recovery, and Troy sets his work with Atlas to try and complete the research started by the CDC. 3 years later, Troy effortlessly works to find a cure, and with a little bit of luck, he finally comes across the solution. A cure that shields the cells of humans from succumbing to the disease and becoming infected hosts. At that moment, the Covenant arrive in orbit, putting the CDC station and its small group into high alert. This starts the plot of Forsaken Skies Episode 3, Safeguard.
Out of budget? What do you mean out of budget? Well, folks, we were not able to afford Sean for a further installment of his commentary. In that case, we will be showing you the entirety of Forsaken Skies Episode 3 right now. Prepare your eyes. So, at the end of Forsaken Skies Episode 3, we know the UNSC Independence has been attacked. Not sure what happened to the survivors, but we do know that Riley, Lyle, David, and James survived. And right now, Troy and Montana have found the cure. They took down a Covenant vessel thanks to the help of Riley, David, and James, and they're now part of the crew with the UNSC Safeguard. Lucas is missing. Talos is missing. Riker is missing. Commander Adam Kingston, missing. Colonel Ryan Lansing, missing. Thank you all for taking part, taking a listen. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm kind of not good at these long form style videos where I have to hear my voice for long periods of time. But hope you enjoyed. Have a clear picture of where the story is, where the story's going. Well, actually, you shouldn't know that yet. But I hope you stay tuned. FS4 is going to be even better. Peace!
I just think it needs rewriting, to be honest with you. I'll do it anyway, but I do think it needs to be rewritten because... Oh wow, the Forsaken's 2 one is huge. My lord. American stuff, man. Why have you got stupid fucking words? Row? Row in Row. RHO. What the fuck?